So we will get started. Sitting in a nice, comfortable seat on your shins, the tops of your feet are pressing into the mat. Knees are coming together, thighs are touching. I'm taking a few moments to sit here at the beginning of practice, just settling into your space. We'll just start off with a few gentle movements and stretches. So before we close our eyes and sit in a meditation, inhale, both arms reach up and overhead. Grabbing the left wrist with the right hand, inhale to reach up toward the sky. Exhale, leaning over to the right. Gaze goes underneath the left arm up toward the sky, the ceiling. Breathing into the left rib cage, left side of the body. And inhale through center, switching the grasp of the hands, and exhale over to the left side, stretching out the right side of the body, sending the breath into the right lung. Once more, inhale through center, exhale, leaning over to the right. Inhale, center, exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, center, exhale, release the arms down. You can drop your head down, chin in towards the chest, and just taking a few slow, gentle rolls of your head from side to side, bringing one ear to one shoulder and the other. Taking slow, gentle movements today. And if it feels good, you can rotate and roll the head all the way around. Just listening to your body. And if you're circling it one way, you can circle it the other way. Beautiful. Finding stillness and recentering the head right on top of the neck, stacking right on top of the spine. You can take a few rolls of the shoulders backwards. And rolling the shoulders forward. Good. Then now we can settle into our seats for the beginning of practice. So really rooting down through the base of the sit bones, sitting up nice and tall, letting the crown of the head float up towards the sky. And then maybe taking a gentle gaze or bringing your eyes to a close. Taking a few moments to settle and tune your attention inwards. Just noticing how you feel today, physically, emotionally, mentally, just taking a mental note and scan of where you're at. Not trying to judge it or change it, but just allowing it to be. And slowly bringing your awareness to your breath, beginning to lengthen and deepening the breath. Sending that energy all the way to the space underneath the belly button. Allowing the breath to be deep and wide. Once more, take an inhale through the nose. Fill all the way up. And exhale, open the mouth and sigh it out. And feel free to keep your eyes closed or Gently flutter them open, making your way into a tabletop position. Stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Begin by taking a few rounds of cats and cows. Inhaling, dropping the belly, gaze goes up. Exhale, rounding the spine, tailbone down. Inhale, dropping the belly, gaze lifts. Exhale, rounding out. Taking a few rounds on your own breath. Warming up the spine. Opening up the shoulders, the chest. Bringing your head and your neck into it. Making it one fluid movement. Once more, and then finding a neutral back. Inhale, right arm straight up towards the ceiling, open up toward the side of the room. Exhale, thread right arm underneath the left, bringing right shoulder, right ear down to the mat. Tense up onto the left fingertips, and you can walk that forward a few inches. Pressing into the left fingertips, rotating. Gaze goes underneath the left armpit up towards the sky. Take a few rounds of breath here. Continuing to rotate and twist along this axis that runs from your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Good, next breath, bring the left hand back underneath the left shoulder, pressing into the left palm, right arm comes all the way up, open up, exhale, right arm down to the mat. Other side, inhale, left arm straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread a left arm underneath the right, left shoulder, left ear comes down to the mat. Tense up onto the right fingertips, walk them forward a few inches. And as you press into the right fingertips, you twist a little bit more, rotating the heart up towards the sky. Continuing to send that breath, that prana, down to the lower belly. Inhale, right hand comes underneath right shoulder, pressing into the right palm. Lift the left arm all the way up towards the sky, and exhale, left hand back down, tabletop position. Finding your neutral spine. Gonna start to build some heat, activating the core. Inhale, lift right arm, left leg, straight up and back, gazes forward. Exhale, round the spine, right elbow to left knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. Exhale to round. Once more, inhale, extend. Exhale, round. Next, inhale back into your tabletop. Other side, inhale, left arm, right leg, extending straight up and back, gazes forward. Exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend, and exhale to round. A few more times on your own, really engaging the core. Slow, intentional movements. Once more, and exhale, tabletop. On the next breath, we'll take a few rounds with our right knee. So lifting the right knee up to the side and then taking a few rounds forward. And backwards. Opening up the hip, lubricating the joints. And release that right knee down. Other side, lifting the left knee, taking a few circles forward with that left knee. And then rotating it the other way. Good, once more. And release the left knee down. Walk the hands all the way out in front of you. Seat comes back. Your knees can come a little bit wider just to frame the edges of your ribs. Child's pose. Relax the forehead down onto the mat. Walking those fingertips forward just a little bit more, creating more length and space in the side of your body. Lifting the forehead, tent up onto your fingertips, and walk your hands over to the right side of the mat, draping the torso over the right thigh, gazes forward. And on the next breath, walking the hands over to the left side of the mat, really reaching as far as possible. And bringing it back through center, child's pose. On the next inhale, pull it forward, coming through your tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the knees with the hips, downward facing dog. First down dog of the day. Feel free to take any movements you need. Maybe you pedaling out the feet, rocking from side to side. And then formalizing your dog by taking a slight bend in the knees, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, really pushing out of all 10 knuckle pads. Gazes forward in between your palms. Inhale, pull it forward to your plank. And exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Walk the feet to the outer edges of the mat. And then walk your hands all the way back towards the feet as you take a deep bend in the knees, coming through Malasana. Hands come to chest in a prayer pose. As you press your elbows into the inner thighs, heart shines through. Deep inhale through the nose, and exhale, releasing any tension and tightness in the hips. Next breath, we'll place the hands back onto the floor, walk it forward, coming to your plank with your feet out wide. Lift the right hand, gazes forward, engaging the core, the abdomen, holding it for 3, 2, and 1, release. Lift the left hand, keep the gaze forward. Hold for 3, 2, and 1, release. Walk the hands all the way back to your feet, coming through your Malasana once again. This time, place the right hand onto the outer edge of the right mat, so the biceps of the right arm pressing into the right knee. The left arm reaches up towards the sky. Gaze lifts, big stretch. Deep inhale through the nose, and exhale, hands come to heart center, switching sides. Left arm comes out to the left. Left bicep presses into the inner left thigh. Right arm goes straight up towards the ceiling. Gaze lifts. Big stretch, taking up lots of space. Deep inhale, and exhale, hands come back to heart center. Plant the palms onto the mat. Straighten the legs and fold forward. Both feet are pointing straight forward to the top of the mat. And fold, letting your head hang heavy. Take a micro bend in the knees. Can grab for opposite elbows. Shifting your weight forward and back and really finding nice balance and stability, grounded through both feet. Release the arms, place the left palm on the mat right in front of your face. Inhale, right arm straight up towards the sky, opening up towards the side of the room. Exhale, swim the right arm down. Right arm comes down to the mat right in front of your face. Inhale, left arm straight up towards the sky, gaze lift. Exhale, swim left arm down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, right arm down. Inhale, left arm up. Good, once more on each side on your own breath, taking big circles. And then meeting in your forward fold. Slight bend in the knees, engaging the quads, the glutes, really pushing into the feet to rise up to stand. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Head and shoulders come up left. Take a few rolls of the shoulders backwards. Inhale, both arms up toward the ceiling, interlace the fingers, palms face up. Then take a few rounds of circles with your hands around the head, the shoulders, flossing it out. And you can bring the top of the torso into it. Maybe you bring your hips into it, bending the knees, taking any movements that feel good. Or maybe they feel uncomfortable, that's okay too. And circling it the other way. Really challenging yourself to move in a way that maybe is a little bit different or unfamiliar, but just playing with it. Good. Finding center, stillness, arms reach up, deep inhale, and exhale, release the arms alongside of your body. Feet come a little bit closer together, so your feet are now hips width distance apart. If you're towards the back of the mat, you can take a few steps forward to the front. Inhale, arms sweep up and overhead, gaze lift. Exhale, hinge at the hips and dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, step the left leg back, low lunge. Drop the left knee down, untuck the left toes. Sweep the arms up and overhead, Anjaneyasana on the right side. If you have your block, you can grab for that. Placing the block right next to your right hip. Right hand comes to the block or your hip if you don't have one. Left arm comes up and overhead, just leaning ever so slightly over to the right. Again, sending your breath into the left lung, left side of the body, creating more space in the left intercostal muscles, making it a little bit easier for us to breathe. Deep inhale and exhale, release the left arm down, both hands cup to frame the right foot. Gazes forward, extend the right leg, pulling the right toes up towards the ceiling, feet comes back. Inhale, bend the right knee, look forward. Exhale, extend, feet comes back. Wrapping the left hip point towards the front of the mat. Inhale, bending the right knee. And exhale to extend. Inhale to bend. Stay here. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Keep the gaze forward. Extend the left leg and fold. Coming onto the toes of the left foot. Inhale to bend the right knee, look forward. Exhale, extend. Once more, inhale to bend. Exhale, extend. Stay here. Grab for that block, book, if you have one. Place that underneath the left hand. Pressing into the left hand. Inhale, right arm straight up towards the ceiling. Revolve triangle. Feel a deep stretch on the outer edge of that right leg. Continuing to send your breath into any places of the body that feel a little bit tight today. And meeting your body wherever it's at. So if you're feeling any discomfort or pain, you can just back off. Once more, inhale and exhale, release both arms down to frame the right foot. Step the right foot back into your plank. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. Bending the knees, lift the hips, push the mat away from you. Gazes forward, feet come together. Deep bend in the knees, 3 hops forward to the front of the mat. And fold. Inhale, pressing into the feet, come to rise. All the way to stand, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, hands at heart center. Deep inhale, filling up the lower belly. And exhale, side at the mouth. Inhale, arms lift, gaze lifts. Exhale, hinge at the hips and dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, step right leg back, low lunge. Exhale, tap right knee down, untuck the right toes. Inhale, arms come up and overhead. Anjaneyasana on the left side. Again, if you have that block, you can put that next to your left hip. Left hand comes to the block or your hip. Right arm comes up and overhead, slightly leaning to the left side. Slight back bend, so the heart is pointing up towards the ceiling. Good, one more breath. And release, hands down. Bring the left foot, gazes forward, extend the left leg, feet comes back, flexing firmly through the left toes, wrapping the right hip point towards the front of the mat. Inhale to bend left knee, look forward. Exhale, extend. Inhale to bend. Exhale, extend. Once more, inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Stay here, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Extending through the left leg as you come up onto the right toes, continuing to wrap that right hip point towards the front of the mat, trying to square the hips. Inhale, bend the left knee, look forward. Exhale, extend and fold. Once more, inhale, bend, look forward. Exhale, extend and fold. You can place that block underneath the right hand. Staying here as you press into the right hand, the left arm lifts up towards the ceiling. Torso opens up to the side of the room. Trying to keep both legs as straight as possible. Keep breathing. Beautiful. Yeah, Jenny, if you can keep both legs as straight as possible, and you can narrow your stance if that helps. Beautiful. One more breath and release the arms down. Hands come to frame the left foot. Step the left foot back into your plank. Hips come high. Downward facing dog. Feet come together, big toes come to touch, deep bend in the knees, gazes forward. This time taking 2 hops to the front of the mat and fold. Pressing into the feet, activating the quads, come all the way up to stand 1 vertebrae at a time. Arms lift up and overhead. Exhale, hands at heart center. Take a few rounds of breath here, restabilizing, resetting. Moving on. So inhale to lift the left leg. Actually, we'll start on the right leg. The right leg to the knee, lifting the right knee. Quad is parallel to the ground. Arms come up and overhead. And exhale, stepping the right leg all the way back, high lunge. Inhale to come forward to stand, lift the right knee, arms come alongside of the body. Exhale, extend, right leg comes all the way back, arms come forward. Once more, inhale, lifting right knee, arms alongside of the body. Exhale, step it back into your high lunge. Stay here, straighten the torso, arms reach up towards the sky. And exhale, cactus the arms open, gaze lifts. Inhale, arms reach up as you straighten that left leg. Exhale, bend into the front knee, open the arms up. Once more, inhale to straighten and lift. Exhale, bending into the front knee and open. Stay here, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, open the arms wide over to the left side. Drop the left hand, sliding it down the right leg, right arm comes up and overhead. Beautiful. Staying bended into that left knee. One more breath. And exhale, cartwheel both hands towards the front of the mat. Both hands come onto the inside of the left foot and then walk it all the way towards center, pivoting both feet. So both feet are parallel and fold. Hands can come in line with your feet, top of the head, heavies down towards the ground. Sealing the outer edges of the feet down into the mat so much that the arches of the feet lift. Relaxing your face muscles and any tension you might be holding in your neck. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, walk the hands towards the back of your mat, towards the right foot. Both feet are now pointing straight towards the back of the mat. Both hands are on the inside of the right leg. Finding your way into a lizard pose. So you can stay right here if that feels good to you, or you can drop the left knee, untuck the left toes, and then maybe you come down onto your forearms, squeezing that right knee into the right shoulder. Gaze is forward on the mat, so not dropping your head down, but still finding a little bit of a back bend here, widening the collarbones. Two more breaths. If you're on your forearms, you can walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, tuck the back toes, lift the back knees, swing the right leg all the way back into your plank, and lower down to the mat in one piece. Untuck the toes. Inhale, lift head, chin, and chest, low cobra. Exhale, release. Twice more, inhale to lift, rolling the shoulders down and away from the ears. Exhale, release. Once more, inhale to lift, a little bit higher, and exhale to release. Tuck the toes with the knees, engage the core, push back into your plank in one piece. Hips come high, downward facing dog. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale. Feet come together. Deep bend in the knees, look forward. One hop all the way to the front of the mat and fold. Pressing into the feet, come to rise. Hands float up and overhead, gaze lifts. Exhale, hands at heart center. Other side. Inhale, left knee lift this time, creating a 90-degree angle with that bent leg. And then exhale, send the left leg back into your high lunge as your arms come straight up and overhead. So creating one long line of energy from the left heel all the way to the fingertips. Inhale, push back up to stand. Left knee lifts. Exhale, send that left leg back, arms come forward. Once more, inhale, come forward to stand, and exhale to extend. Stay here, straighten the torso, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, tapestry arms open, shoulders come out wide. Slight back bend, gaze lift. Inhale, arms come up and overhead as you straighten the right leg. Exhale, bend into the front knee, open the arms wide. Inhale, straighten the leg, reach up. Exhale, bend and open. Once more, inhale and exhale. Staying here, arms come up, staying bent into that front knee. Arms come out wide into a T as you rotate towards the right. The left arm is in front, right arm is behind you. And then letting the right hand come down the left leg as the left hand comes up and overhead. Deep stretch. Breathing into the front side of the body. Beautiful. One more breath. And cartwheel both hands towards the front, landing on your mat. Walk the hands towards the center. Become parallel to one another. Hands come all the way out in front of you as your seat comes back. So the upper body is kind of in that downward facing dog position. Continuing to send the hips back as you walk the fingertips a little bit forward, creating equal but opposite pulls, forces. Once more, inhale and exhale. Walk the hands towards the front of the mat, towards the left foot, bringing your feet with you. Both feet are pointing straight towards the front of the mat. Both hands are on the inside of the left foot. Lizard pose. Option 1 to stay here. Option 2 to bend the right knee. Drop the right knee down, untuck the right toes. And option 3 to come down onto the forearm. Wherever you are, still hugging that left knee into the left shoulder, gazes forward onto the mat. About a foot or so in front of you, continuing to open up through the collarbones, allowing space for the heart to come forward. Two more breaths. And then walk the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, swing that left leg all the way back into your plank, engaging the core, lower down in one piece, all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes, tent up onto your fingertips and walk them a little bit wider than the width of the mat. Elbow points face up towards the ceiling. Inhale, head, chin, and chest for a low cobra variation. Exhale, right shoulder, right ear down to the center of the mat. Inhale through center. Exhale, left shoulder, left ear down. Inhale, center. Exhale, right shoulder down. Inhale, center. Exhale, left shoulder down. Once more, inhale through center. Exhale, forehead comes down to the mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, push back into your plank. Hips come high. Downward facing dog. Take a few rounds of breath here. Checking back in with yourself. Slight bend in the knees, hips come high. Keeping your gaze and your vision forward. Big toes come together. Deep bend in the knees, gaze in between the hands, one big hop towards the front of the mat. And fold. Inhale to come all the way up to stand, arms reach up and overhead. Exhale, release the arms alongside of the body, Tadasana. Inhale, right knee lifts. Exhale, send the right leg back, arms come forward. And then this time, without thinking too much about it, we'll be shifting our weight into the left leg as you lift the right, coming into your warrior three. So back leg is straight out behind you, flexing firmly through the lifted foot. Gaze and vision is forward. Keeping the hips squared. Continuing to breathe. Holding it for a few more seconds, then might feel comfortable for you, challenging yourself, staying with it. Beautiful, and then slowly with control, lower that right leg back down behind you, arms come up and overhead, slight back bend. Exhale, hands come forward to frame the left foot. In one movement, sweep the left leg all the way back, three-legged dog. Bend the left knee, open up the left hip. If it feels good, you can take a few circles with the left knee on the ceiling, clockwise and counterclockwise. Straighten out that left leg, square the hips, look forward, bring the left knee to the left wrist, left shin comes down on a diagonal, coming through your pigeon pose. Right leg is straight out behind you, untuck the right toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine, crown of the head floats up towards the ceiling. Exhale, slowly roll forward. You can create a little palm pillow for your head, or if you have a block and want to put that underneath your forehead, feel free to do so, making yourself comfortable in this pose. Relaxing the face muscles, unclenching your jaw. Just taking note of any feelings or sensations that come up in the body, but not judging it or trying to change it. One more breath. On the next inhale, slowly roll up to stand. To sit. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and step the left leg back, downward facing dog. Big toes come to touch, look forward, deep bend in the knees, hop towards the front of the mat, and fold. Pressing into the feet, come all the way to rise. Arms up and overhead, hands at heart center. Inhale through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Release the arms alongside of the body. Inhale to lift the left leg, 90-degree angle with that left knee. Exhale, extend the left leg back, arms come up and overhead. Not thinking too much about it, shifting the weight into the right leg as you lift the left, coming through your warrior three. So staying squared in the hip, so not opening up through the left hip joint, but wrapping that back down, flexing firmly through the left foot, and gazes forward. Beautiful. Julia, you can lift that back leg a little bit more. Abby looks great. Guys are killing it, doing a great job. Stay with it for 2 more breaths. And slowly with control, letting that back foot come back down to the mat. Arms reach up and overhead, slight back bend, and release the arms down to the mat to frame the right foot. In one movement, sweep the right foot, right leg all the way back, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee, open up the right hip. And if it feels good, you can take a few circles with the right knee onto the ceiling, clockwise and counterclockwise. We extend that right leg, three-legged dog, square the hip, bend the right knee comes towards the right wrist, the right shin comes down on a diagonal, left leg is straight out behind you. Inhale to lengthen through the spine, exhale, folding over any amount, making a palm pillow for your head or taking a block underneath the forehead. Few rounds of breath here. Two more rounds of breath. Slowly pushing your way back up to sit. Staying on the ground, you can swing the left leg forward. Both legs long out in front of you. You can give it a little bit of a shake. And then butterflying both knees out to the side, soles of the feet come together. There's maybe like 1 block width distance between your pubis and the heels of your feet. Great. And then really sitting on your sit bones, rotating the bowl of the pelvis forward. Hands can come to the ankles. You need that extra support to sit up nice and tall. An option to just stay here. And option 2 is to walk your hands forward any amount without rounding in the lower back, trying to maintain as much space as you can in the spine. Beautiful. One more breath. And walking the hands back towards the hips. Extending your right leg out to the corner, the front corner of your mat. Left foot comes to the inner edge of the right leg. Bringing your forearm down next to your right shin, palm faces up towards the ceiling. Left arm comes up and overhead, opening the torso, the heart towards the side of the room. And you can press that forearm into the right leg to open up a little bit more. So big stretch in the left side of the body. Beautiful. One more breath. And slowly coming up to sit. Switching the legs, left foot comes out to towards the left front corner of the mat. Sole of the right foot comes to the inner left thigh. Left forearm comes down onto the mat. Palms face up towards the ceiling. Right arm comes up and overhead, opening up the heart towards the side of the room. Pressing left elbow, left forearm into the inner left leg, twisting and rotating the heart open a little bit more. Lots of space from the right hip joint all the way to the right fingertips. Keep rotating up towards the sky, the ceiling. One more breath. And slowly come all the way back up to sit. Both legs long out in front of you. Bend the right knee. Bring the right foot over the left thigh. Right hand comes behind you like a kickstand. Inhale, left arm straight up toward the ceiling, lengthening the spine. Exhale, twist over to the right, hooking left elbow over the right knee. Gaze goes over the right shoulder. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Once more, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Next breath comes back through center. Switching the legs, straighten out that right leg, bend the left knee. Left foot comes over the right thigh. Left hand comes behind you. Right arm straight up towards the sky, creating space in the spine. Exhale, twisting over to the left, hooking right elbow over left knee. Gaze goes over the left shoulder. And again, inhaling to lengthen, crown of the head up toward the ceiling. Exhale to twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Your next breath, you can release, coming back through center. Bending the knees, scooching the feet forward, and gently coming to lay down on the mat. One hand on the lower belly, one hand on the chest. Gentle gaze or bring your eyes to a close. Just for a few moments, feeling your belly and your chest rise with each inhalation and exhalation. Once more deep inhale to fill all the way up. And exhale to release. Hands come alongside of the body. Tops of the fingertips graze the bottom of the heels. Knees are in line with the hips, setting up for your bridge. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, hips come straight up towards ceiling. Wrapping your shoulders underneath you, interlace the hands, pressing into the forearms to lift the hips a little bit higher. Inhale to press the forearms into the ground. Exhale to lift the hips one more inch higher towards the ceiling, keeping the knees in line with the hips. And slowly release back down. Shoulders come out from underneath you, gently releasing hips down to the mat. Take a moment to reset, and we'll do that once more. So setting up, deep inhale, and exhale, lift the hips straight up towards the sky. Shoulders underneath you, interlacing the fingers. Maybe you switch the interlace of the hands, the fingers at the opposite pinkies down towards the mat. Really activating the quads, the glutes. Challenging yourself to lift the hips just a little bit more. And exhale, slowly come down one vertebrae at a time. Widen your feet towards the edges of the mat and let the knees knock in towards one another. Arms can be on your body or up and overhead. Maybe you grab for opposite elbows. And then gently windshield wipe your knees from side to side, bringing them over to the right and the left. Feet come together, arms come out wide in a T. Then let both knees knock over to the right side, stacking one knee on top of the other. Gaze goes over the left shoulder. So really trying to bring your left knee in line with the right as you release and relax the left shoulder down to the mat a little bit more. And you can give yourself a little adjustment by placing your right hand onto your left hip and then gentle tug away from the left shoulder and then over to the right. Good, one more breath. And bring it back through center, releasing both knees over to the left side, stacking right knee over left knee, and releasing the right shoulder down onto the mat. And again, you can give yourself a little adjustment here, placing your left hand onto right knee, and then gently pulling that right hand on the left hand, right hip, pulling that down and away, and then over to the left. And bring it back through center, hugging both knees into the chest, giving yourself a big hug. Grabbing for the outer edges of the feet, knees come into your armpits, happy baby. Roll from side to side, massaging out the spine. Maybe extend one leg and the other. And then feel free to take any last movements or stretches before coming into our Shavasana. Whenever you're ready, you can extend both legs long out in front of you, letting your feet flop over to its own side, arms alongside of the body, palms face up towards the sky. Relaxing your shoulders, your hips, your feet, letting them heavy into the ground beneath you. Taking a gentle close of the eyes. Relaxing your forehead. Relaxing that skin in between the eyebrows. Letting your eyes heavy a little bit deeper into their sockets. Relaxing your jaw. Releasing any other places in the body that you might be holding any remaining tightness or tension. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back into your body. starting by deepening the breath. And then making really subtle movements with the fingertips and the toes. And whenever you're ready in your own time, you can gently roll over to one side, hugging the knees into the chest, taking a fetal position, making a comfortable pillow for your head. I invite you to take a moment to set any intentions. Taking this as a moment of restarting your birth. And then gently make your way back into a comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall. As you ground down through the sit bones and rise up through the crown of your head. Bringing both hands to your heart center. Right hand presses into the left as left hand presses into the right. Deep inhale through the nose. Thumbs come to the space in between the eyebrows. Fill up and exhale. Ground down. And thank you guys for practicing with me today. It's so nice to see the whole crew together.